Hey everybody, Uncle Buck here. Hey, thanks for tuning in, watching the channel. Hey, what we're talking about today is these safety wire pliers. So the other day, I was talking to a couple buddies, mentioned safety wire pliers, and neither of them knew what I was talking about. Then it dawned on me, maybe it kind of is a niche tool. I grew up in naval aviation, did 20 years as a structural mechanic. So these are almost kind of like an extension of my hand. I use them so often. So what they're used for is securing bolts, a lot of times on engines, critical flight control components, some landing gear hardware, brake bleed screws, anything like that, anything that's critical that is subject to vibration. I've also seen it used on a lot of race car applications and some off-roading to an extent. So at any rate, if you get something that gets a lot of vibration or weather changes, safety wiring can be a great way to secure your hardware and keep it from rattling apart. So let's take a look.
So first, let's take a look at some of the materials you're going to encounter. So usually, if an application requires safety wire, it is going to come with hardware that's already ready to go with holes. There's multiple kinds. There's one that just has a hole on each side for a straight through. Some applications require an X, so there's holes on each side so you can X up the safety wire. The second thing you're going to need is the safety wire itself. Now, 30 thousandths is very common. That's what I'm using here, 30 thousandths thickness. If you do have a critical item, it'll tell you what thickness you're supposed to use. So let's take a look at the safety wire pliers themselves. So as you can see, it's got the tapered head so you can get into tight spots. You can see it also has the cutters in there. Some brands will have thick rubber in there, and that's as you snip the safety wire, it keeps it from flying down where you can't find it in an engine bay or belly of an aircraft. As far as the locking device, this lever right here, when you squeeze the handles together, slide the lock back, now they're locked. So in theory, if this was hooked up to safety wire, you can pull this and it would start spinning. Let's see it in action. All right, so first step is to always grab the safety wire that you require. I like to cut it off the roll, makes it much easier to manage, and just keep in mind it's always better to grab a little extra than be a little short. So let's pretend these are already torqued into some sort of fuel control or engine component or suspension component. Feed it through on your first side. Give it a little tug just to get it to wrap around that nut there. And me personally, I like to do my first twist by hand. Get it straightened out. And always remember, you want both ends to be pulling righty-tighty. So anyone tells you they haven't made that mistake, probably haven't safety wired that much. So in this case, I think this is going to be about long enough to get into the hole. You take your little black locker, lock it, start twisting. Are gonna need a couple more twists. No big deal. Grab back on. All right, right there is about the perfect length. Same thing, I do one manual twist and grab the material you want for what they call the pigtail. Lock your pliers again. There you go. Take the cutters, cut off your pigtail. and either by hand or with the pliers, bend your pigtail around so it doesn't catch people. There you go. They're both pulling righty-tighty, ready to go. That's not going anywhere in vibration. So, thanks for watching.